Rise and Shine is one of my favorite songs on the record. I think the bridge section is just wild, into the bass solo, into a guitar solo. That's the heartbeat of what we wanted Stained Glass City to be. Just stupid musicality. With just a lot of fun, ridiculous energy.
You know that feeling of like it's cold in your room and you're under the blankets and you feel really warm and you don't want to get out of bed and you feel like no, nothing matters in the world right now. This song is about being kind of apathetic. You got things going on that you need to do and you're kind of just laying there doing nothing. I think everyone comes across this. As it relates to me, like I'm a young person. I have so much that I can do with myself.
Cody and I always start songs like we had like at some point we had like a kind of agreement where we were just like, we're not gonna write a whole song. Like I'm not gonna write a whole song, take it to Cody and say, these are the whole song, both parts, let's do it. We write parts of it. Like we'll find something that's awesome and we'll be like, all right, I'm gonna take this to Cody and we're gonna try to build a song from this part, and then we work on each other's parts and like take the whole section. Like rarely, I don't think we ever like just wrote the whole thing and say, hey, this is what we're playing, because that's not how we do it. That's not how it's fun for us to really engage in the music. We need to like have, hey, this is my part and I feel like I can add stuff, Cody feels like he can add stuff, and we can like write it together rather than just one, little brain. We can have two little brains making one medium-sized brain to write our music.
When you feel sad or angry, it's so easy to let yourself feel that way. It's easy to continue to feel sad or depressed or mad. It's so easy to be on your phone and just be apathetic. This song is about trying to move on from that. And so the end of this song finally gets to that where it'll say, but I'll move on. Even though I'm dealing with all this stuff, I'm gonna keep walking forward towards success.
I went over to Cody's house and I remember we were just laying down for a long time. When we write the songs often, we write the music first. That's just the way we like processing it. It's just all this musicality. We save room for vocals and we write melodies, but like we'll go, like na 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 na, but we won't like write the lyrics until later. It's because it's just the way we like processing it. And everyone's different, but I think it was the last song we finished the lyrics for. We were done with the lyrics for every single song on the record, except Rise and Shine. It was a few weeks before the studio and we were like, we need to get this finished. So we just went everywhere with Rise and Shine trying to think of the lyrics. I know that in that one, I was like, all right, most of our songs have this poetic nature or most of them are like more symbolic. I want this song to have a lot more of just direct things. Like these are actions that are happening. I was really into modern baseball at the time. They do a lot of that stuff where they're just like, they just sing about, like chicken nuggets and pizza and like just what they're doing. And I thought that was hilarious. So we took some of that energy, but it was Rise and Shine's really just about like when you're just stuck, you're apathetic, you just don't want to get out of bed, time's going, you're scrolling on your phone and you just can't, like, you want to not be lazy and apathetic. There's better things that you want to do with your time, but you're just kind of stuck. It happens. That tagline, I'm so young, like trying to grow out of this. I'm so young. I know that in the future I can be better. It's almost like an excuse, but it's about just standing up, like saying like, no, I'm gonna get out of this. I'm not gonna just be in the slump of just wallowing around, which I think it's so easy for people to get into. It's so easy for, I think, all of us to get into. Feeling like you have no time even when you do, because you just burn it and doing nothing.
So I wanted something that kind of was a little bit prog, but I'm really into the band Chan, and I'm really into Polyphia, and obviously if you're a singer and you're playing the rhythm on guitar or piano, you're probably just playing chords, and so I always try to come up with things that are difficult to play for rhythm guitar. For this song, I was like, I'm gonna tap on the guitar for the rhythm as I sing. I was able to write something where it fit right, because sometimes when you're singing and playing something, it's hard to do both at the same time. I guess I would say I got lucky with how I wrote the tap line for this song.
Like, we're a guitar band, we're like bass, guitars, like stuff like that. It's just the way we approach and write music. And so Rise and Shine, Cody had that cool riff for the tapping. I really liked it, so I just like sinking back into the chill riff. Rise and Shine is probably one of the easiest songs for me to play.
The bridge is completely different from what we wrote. The melody that you'll hear along with the escalating vocal is not at all what I wrote for it, and that got changed completely. Even, I guess I would say, the chorus section where it says, "I think something's wrong," that wasn't there at all. We didn't have any lyrics there. We were like, this is just an instrumental section, which is kind of our chorus. And so Mark, being the person he is, being really good at saying, this isn't good, you need to change this, we were like, okay, we'll add something. So that part of the song, I was told to write something for it. So that was completely brand new going into the studio.
That whole like vocal progression that goes on in the bridge, when it goes the young, they say I'm young and I'll move, that whole section from there to the end when it comes to vocals was all added in the studio. John and Cody worked on it and brought it to us. We were just like, whoa, this is crazy. This is not something that we had before. And it just makes it so it's like the gnarliest part of I think one of my favorite parts of the entire record is that bridge to the end of the song, because it just builds up. It's really, really cool. And then like Sonny's bass solo there even was added in the studio. It used to be just guitar solo. I played a couple more things during that triplets progression, the I played a couple more things, but it was pretty much just the triplets, and Mark was just like, yo, what if we put a bass solo in here? Which, like, you would think, like, most producers and songs don't think, like, there needs to be even more bass parts, because we already have some of the most complex bass parts, but our producer was like, no, we can do more of that. And so, like, we wrote that bass solo, and Sonny, like, nailed it and really brought his own flavor to it. So that was a really, really cool part. At the end, I'm really into funk music, so I wanted a funk solo. I have a couple of them, but it's kind of like a funk math rock tune, with kind of like just alternative alt rock, kind of almost Strokes inspired verses with the alternate progressions going on underneath the verse with guitar.
It's easy to be apathetic, but you need to get off your phone, get off the couch, stop watching YouTube videos, and go do something. Even if you don't have any responsibilities, go out and go for a walk, go exercise, go do a hobby. Don't just sit there on Netflix and do nothing with yourself. There's more to life.
Those are my thoughts on Rise and Shine.
Okay, that's honest. You talked for so long. You beat me. Why didn't you let me talk to you back?
Oh, sorry, because I knew exactly what you're gonna say.
You jerk. All right, that's it.